If you ever think about dropping a fucking deadlift again in your life, whoever you are watching this, watch this man fucking mong that from his knees all the way to the top, right? Up, Brett! Up! Up! And that's what that was right there. Whoosh. Actually, we're coming through hard work, whereas I could have learned a lot faster if I'd had me or had him when I was a lot younger. This is what we're trying to give you now. Right, if we're just bringing in a second, just to give you like real clarity on what he means when be aggressive, I am going to risk my life and sciatica and show you how to do it. Because the way that you lot deadlift, you are honestly so fucking soft, it's unbelievable. When we're talking about aggression, right, you need to like really get into your deadlift especially. And when we're talking about mat before on squats or any of you doing any lift, not respecting the weight, okay? The whole point of training is that your first rep with the bar should be the same. It might not look the same, but you're mentally trying to move it the same way when you get to 140, when you get to 200. The coaching cues are the same, the aggression the same, the movement is the same, okay? You shouldn't just warm up and be really loose, and then when it gets heavy, think, oh, now I need to move it fast. We need to be fucking the bar straight away, okay? So, foot position, nice and tight. All of it's going to be different. Jerome's going to give you the tips on that. He's the fucking Jedi there, not me, right? For me, I go quite compact. The first thing I do, squat down, shins touch the bar. I'm grabbing nice and tight, right? I'm pulling, I'm creating tension first. What some of you are doing is, and you're not an advanced level, you watch how people like him deadlift, you come up to the bar and suddenly think that you can fucking deadlift. You can't do that yet, all right? You all need to work on, with maybe the exception of you two, specific coaching cues before you pull. You're not good enough to walk up to it and just yank it, right? You might have seen him do it, you might have seen other people do it, that's not you. Right now, create tension, get it right. And the thing I want to show you here is the aggression and the speed. At the risk of ruining Bradley's microphone, which I'm going to tuck here so it doesn't fall out, you need to move the bar fast. And at the top, you can't be scared of fucking the bar, okay? So when we're grabbing it, we're here. First time deadlifting in a while. Nice and tight, deep breath. Pull under, we're creating that tension. Look, I'm physically fucking knocking my shins against the bar. Look, can you see there? My hands are already shaking, right? I'm pushing my knees out a little bit. My deep breath. It's coming, it's scraping up my legs. See that tension there? Can you see how much, you can see my face, the pressure. I'm bracing against it straight away, right? When I get to the top, my hips are bang through, all right? I'm squeezing my glutes, I'm not, no. What I'm not doing though, right? I'm not getting to the top and fucking trying to tuck the cunt in and doing any of this, right? I'm smashing it through. It needs to be, here, watch, again. I'll show you that bit again. That's where it is, right? If we all got that. Down, deep breath. See there, that one, what happened? Rushed it to come away a little bit. You might have noticed there, that one to come about an inch off my knee. It needs to stay tight, okay? But don't be scared of moving it. Aggression, what he taught us the other day. The only thing you want to do is, particularly when you're doing multiple reps, right? The bar is obviously moving on the platform. If you feel like you start tipping forward and the weight goes on your toes, you need to have a mental cue to get the weight back. Now, some people will say weight on heels. I wouldn't fucking think that far, but you might have heard people saying if the bar wasn't there, you should fall back, right? I wouldn't go that far, right? I don't think you should be fucking thinking all that way. But what I would say is just before you go, this is going for you, just before you go, just think to yourself, just go back a little bit. Just slightly adjust your hip and your torso angle just before you pull. Everything's right. And then just, see now if you watch when I'm wearing my trainers, you can see the crease is actually a little bit better. Just before I go, if I'm in that position, I might actually be a little bit forward just on my toes. I pull, deep breath, race. Back, pull. I'm talking about fucking this much difference, right? But when you're doing multiple reps, what happens is if you don't have that cue, you end up, the bar might roll and you'll get more and more onto your toes as the set goes on. So 3, 4, 5 reps might end up looking like you're here good, but then as the set goes on, you start getting more like this. And then what that means is the weight's on your quads and your back, and then you have to pull it through. So just that little switch, all right, just as you go, and just try to think about it.
With the hips though, stick the hips too fast, good. More pressure to the feet. Your knees are starting to travel over.
I've worked miracles with that, man. Miracles.
Pull the hips up, push the hips up.
No, you're too far away from the bar now. There you go.
Hips up, now go, now go. Good. Take the arms as well, so still back to the floor. Back to the floor.
But look at where the bar is. See how the bar is like. If he was wearing trainers, it'd be right above the knot of his laces, wouldn't it? so you're keeping right, but as it gets worse, if that bar is over your toes, right? If you think now, if I'm here, if the bar's over my toes, what does it mean? My weight's going forward. Weight's going forward, what does it mean? Well, now I'm like this, I'm on my toes. So what I have to do then, if I'm on my toes, when we're squatting and we're talking about elevating your heel, why do we do that? To put you on your toes to use your what? Quads. You don't want to use your quads when you're deadlifting. You want a little bit, but you want to be using your hamstrings, your back. So we need to make sure we're not doing that. All right?
Okay.
Good.
Get your fucking head up.
Let's go.
Guys, long arm, just keep pulling.
Fucking rip it up.
Pressure down.
Let's go. Pull hips through. Hips through. There we go. Right, we're there, right? Your back was brilliant, your lats were really tight. Yeah, you set your lats really good, right? But then at the last minute, right, what I thought you were about to just drop your hips and then go, but you stayed up here. So what ended up happening was you set your lats, which was great. You could see that you created tension, we could see on your top there that was tight. But then just, you know, that little shift where what you gotta remember is it's a push and a pull. You're pushing the floor away, you're pulling the bar with your back, right? You done a brace, you kept your legs pretty much in the same place, but you didn't actively push it. Could you see when I was doing the demonstration at the start, when you're pushing through, right? You go into here, but you're not, right? You're banging it to there, but I'm not doing that. Let's imagine I'm hitting a wall, bang, bang. But at the start there, mate, that was perfect. You were just a little bit too far over, and what it meant was just, basically it just means you've got a really strong back. But if you could use your legs to help, it would make it a lot easier. Because there, what you've done was, you got in position, you set your back great, and I was like, it's not a bad starting position, he just needs, I thought he's gonna drop it down. And then instead you just went, well, I'm going from here, and just went. Whereas if you just went like this, watch that, you know that adjustment? Set that inch up. Just because then what you're doing is, then you're getting that push, you're using your legs. How I know that really well is, I used to do the opposite. So having big legs, I used to always try and squat a deadlift. And then I spent ages trying to use my back, and then I went that far the other way that I only use my back. And then eventually you realise you need to be somewhere in the middle, it's both, all right? At the beginning, right, you need to keep that just a little bit closer. So what you're doing is there, right, you basically, at the beginning, it come out, and then you seem to be pretty strong here, and you bring it back in at your knees. Try and keep it a little bit closer. Actively think in your mind, can I get it? Well, ideally, like if you look at my thumbs, ideally you want to be like that. Not fucking scraping the skin off your knees, although some people do that. Yeah. But fucking keep it a little bit tighter. If you watch Matt from the side, so just watching his position, yours start a lot further forward. Right, so when he squats down now, you'll knock it away. But watch.
I see. Yeah, there's no gap.
Come here now, yeah. Right, watch his legs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're different because obviously you're smaller height-wise, but you're both very strong, right? So there's differences. Yeah. What I would say if you're at the top, right, with your fucking, with your cock, with your fucking your abs, with the belt, however you want to look at it, right? You're not tucking it under, right? Or you're not pushing your pelvis through. You're not doing this, right? You think instead of thinking tucking it under or pulling it up or whatever, think about pushing it through. Like think forward. And if you think hips to the bar. Bar to the hips to the bar. They're both coming together like that. It's coming, bang, through, not, because I think sometimes when people are saying up, right? So your hips are going up, as opposed to fucking forward, like forward. You know what I mean? Go on, Brett! Up! Stand up! Keep pulling! Lock it out! Oh, that's a trip to the hospital, that was class. Go on, Brett. That was the best and worst rep I've ever seen, it was class. Do you know what, you started off really well to your knees and then it went. The only thing there, right, when it's going good, right, don't all of a sudden think you're the fucking man and not do the cues. That was good though, there's nothing there. Take your time in between, and it's not rushing it, right? The controls there, that analogy I always use, the catapult. Tension, bang. Down. Then he creates tension, bang, down, tension, bang, down. Every time you need to pull that elastic band back, you need to pull the catapult before you let it go. All right? If you suddenly just go, flick it, your back will be like that, you're not your back. All right? Good. If you ever think about dropping a fucking deadlift again in your life, whoever you are watching this, watch this man fucking mong that from his knees all the way to the top, right? When you're warming up, when we're doing the technique work, it needs to be perfect. But at some point, you've got to fucking get aggressive and pull it like your fucking life depends on it, and that's what that was right there. But do you know what the best thing there? You didn't give up. Because most people there would have dropped it at the knees when you got stuck and you didn't. That was class.
5 kilos, Peter.
Do you know sometimes when you're deadlifting, you know you're going to do it, right? That was a grind, right? But when he got to about here, in his head he went, I'm definitely going to finish it. That can fucking ruin you sometimes, because then sometimes what you do is, you get to there, and you mentally slow down and sort of fanny it, and what happens is, because you've mentally slowed down, you've not got that aggression anymore, it starts slowing down a lot. And then this last little bit here, where you try to shoot, is even harder. So make sure, the rep's not done until it's to here and it's locked out, right? You need to move aggressively and powerfully all the way through, all right? So that only slowed down because you moved so fast in the beginning. And then like, you got it at your knees and it was like, and then it was like, okay, I knew you were gonna get it. So the next time, fucking really keep, like, get angry the whole way through the rep. Again, lads, when we're talking about shoes, right? Jerome will tell you this. Jerome, when we're, like, this is, you know, like the advice we give you, right? There's like easy fixes, low-hanging fruit. Like sometimes you're wearing, going back to the shoe thing, right? Sometimes some of yous are wearing fucking Nike Air Maxes, fucking TNs, great shoe by the way. Bubble in it, you look hard as fuck, but your feet's rocking. So then you might go with Jordan, or you might go barefoot. But, stand up there, big man. He's this man, big deadlifter, he's also a hard cunt. But look at them shoes, right? Even though these are the fucking, I lost it, that's what I get demonetized. Right, but these shoes, right, what do they allow you to do? You can grip the floor a little bit better, and that sounds stupid, but you can create more torque, if you want to get technical. You can really dig into the floor. Now, for some of you, in the beginning, when you are learning to deadlift and you are training in Nike Air Maxes, or you're training fucking shitty Adidas shoes or whatever, and the big foam things, can we see how the next step is to go to barefoot? Yeah, or go to, like, in your socks. But can we see that to go from the Air Max to your socks, right, they might get you to 160, 200 kilos, but can you see to get a 300 kilo deadlift, you probably can't do that in socks? Can we see how probably then you need to look at getting something like that, or you need to get a deadlift slipper? Because the things that got you to 200 won't be the things that get you to 300, all right? The same cues don't apply to everyone in that once you've learned something, or the next thing you need to fix isn't necessarily the one that's going to get you the end goal. So for you lads now, some of you need to be able to create a little bit more tension, I think, and you need to be able to really fucking dig your feet in and grab the bar and know it's not going to move. You can see your sweat on the platform sometimes, and that's my fault. We're over the years, so I'm telling you, do it barefoot. We've all said that, do it barefoot, do it in socks. But to get to that next level, we'll have to look deeper than just the blanket statements that we use to initially help people deadlift a little bit better. For you now, it's about going to that next level. All right? Hip, 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 two. Yes! Jason Momoa. Go on, Brett! Up! Up! Stand up! Stand up! Keep pulling! Lock it out! Lock it out! Whoa, that's a trip to the hospital, that was class. Go on, Brett.